Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a little time and show you about how I build recipes on MyFitnessPal. You can do this online at myfitnesspal.com, just log in, or you can do it on your phone on the app. It looks a little bit different on between the two platforms, but it works exactly the same. So for today, I'm going to show you sharing my screen via the desktop application. So open up my screen here and I'll show you guys how this all works. It's pretty easy. So when we come to MyFitnessPal in the app, usually the things that we look at the most is our diary, of course. So this is what my diary looks like for today so far. Doing this in the morning, so don't have a lot of food in there yet. But it's pretty simple. Let's say I'm going to plan out a lunch, and there's a couple different ways that you can go about this. Sometimes I use a recipe that I find online and I import the recipe into MyFitnessPal. Sometimes I just make it up. For right now, we're going to talk about how to import a recipe from online, especially from one from the MyFitnessPal blog. There are some great recipes that fit beautifully into your macros, and they taste really good, and they're pretty easy to make. So I have pulled up the blog here, and I liked this post here. It was the chicken and sweet potato farro bowl. Farro is a pretty hefty grain. As you can see, it fits pretty well into a macro meal. So if we look at the recipe, it's a simple online blog recipe, right? We've all seen them. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our diary here. We click on recipes. And you would do this in your phone by clicking the plus sign. And I'll do another video on how to do it from the phone too. When you do it online, it's really easy to import the recipe. So we simply take our link and we copy it and we paste it into here. And then a good rule of thumb is to, of course, review the list of ingredients. You don't need all of this stuff that's written in the blog, so you can just take that out. You literally just need a list of the ingredients. You also don't need the directions. And now we just have a list, right? Okay. If we click match ingredients, basically what MyFitnessPal is trying to do is check it against the database that they have in their list of foods. Everything should match up beautifully since this is their recipe, but sometimes I find that I need to tweak things a little bit. So we're just going to double check here that everything looks okay. Obviously, they went with canned Kirkland chicken breast, kind you get at Costco. I use some of that. That's totally fine. Just remember that if you do use your own chicken breast, you enter that in manually. We've got our spices, garlic, everything looks good here. And then if I click, and then you can also play with the servings a little bit here, which I think is pretty interesting. So if you make double the recipe, enough to have leftovers, you can calculate that too. If you click save and log it, it'll automatically put it into a meal of your choosing. So today, yep, it's the 25th of October. I'm going to choose my meal, lunch, and I'm going to have one serving of that. Now I'm going to log it and it'll go automatically into my diary and be calculated into the plan for the day. This is a really good tool if you're planning out your macros. So if you're doing a cut or really any time within the program, it's a really great way to plan out your meals and maybe get some new ideas for new things that you might like. And then you can see that it's right here. And that is how to plan a meal and import it into your recipes, basically build it using an online link. Stay tuned for another video and I'll do one where I build it myself. Thanks, team.